Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Faith and Feelings, aka the Denise Network. And my name is Denise Tabo, and welcome back to another episode of, my channel. So, can I call all my serving members to the front? Come here. Gather around, children. Gather around. Okay, not children, but gather around, my friends. Do you ever just wake up on a Sunday or on any random day and be like, I am going to quit serving in the house of God. I think I'm done. I think I'm okay. If you have, welcome to the club. Because that's where I am at right now. That's where I'm at right now. I want to quit, but I cannot quit for reasons that I am not a quitter. I am not a quitter. However, though, instead of quitting, you can take a break. It's allowed. I feel like it should be allowed for somebody to take a break. Like, just be like, sit leader, you know what, I'm at my end of the rope and I would like to take a break. And if you don't mind, I'd just like to take maybe the next 2-3 Sundays off and just come to church, or just not even show. Okay, I think the extreme level is to not show up at church, but you can just say, I'd like to take a break from serving and just sit and hear the word and just relax. Not have any obligations, not have nothing, affiliations, nothing, not to be called upon, not to be anything. I just want to sit and hear the word of the Lord in church like a normal congregant. I think that should be allowed. Excuse me. So I'm at that point. I'm very, very tired. I'm very, very annoyed. I'm very, very frustrated with the way things are going currently in the church in general, and just, because there's so many, I'm the fly on the wall. Right, I am the fly on the wall. There's so many things that I notice. There's so many things that I take note of. There's so many things that I hear. There's so many things that I understand. And as I go along this journey, I'm like, oh, so this is what's happening. This is what people are saying. This is why people are saying what they're saying. And at the same time, I sit down and I think, I look back at what, all the serving member meetings that we've had, and even all the word that we've been taught, and I'm like, okay, fine, this is what was said. And I talk to people and I ask them questions, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then everything just, makes sense. Eventually some things start to make sense, but then also at the same time, I'm like, okay, for the stuff that doesn't make sense, how do I fix that? Because in my brain, every question needs an answer. Every question has to have an answer, and if there is no answer, then that's when my frustration begins. But I'm gonna go into the nuances of things, the smaller aspects of things. The reason why I'm frustrated is because I feel like people are in their positions because it is a position, not because they have a responsibility or that they want the responsibility that comes with it. They just want a seat at a table where they contribute nothing. But when they leave that table, they want to tell other people that I'm sitting at that table. They contribute nothing. They say nothing. And worse off, they get off that table. They pull out their chair. They stand up from that table. They walk away. They go to people that are not at the table, and they start abusing people that are not at their table and confusing the people. No, I don't want to say confusing. They start misconstruing things. That's a big word. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a simpler word for it, but they start to manipulate. Yes, they start to manipulate people by convincing them that this is what's going on at the table, but that's not what's going on at the table. They spread rumors and lies to the people that are not at the table, and they try to convince people that at this table I'm very important. Meanwhile, you say nothing at that table. So said table, there are various people that are sitting at that table, and if you happen to find yourself sitting at that table and you're contributing nothing to that table, and you're in fact making things worse when you leave that table, what are you doing at that table? Get off the table. Don't even be at the table. Join the rest of us that are in the kitchen, that are in the groundskeepers, that we are there, whatever. Just don't be part of that table. If you're contributing nothing to that table, and if you're using that table as a means of manipulating other people and to boss people around, please, just with your 2 ears, if you understand what I'm saying. It's an analogy that I'm giving because I don't want to I don't want to get into like the nitty gritty of it. That's also another issue that I'm having, where, you know, people are being abused. I'm not saying I'm being abused. Hell no. I'll never allow myself to be abused. That's just me. Other people are being abused. I've seen it. I see it. Other people are being abused. Other people are being bullied. People are being sidelined. People are not being listened to. People are being disregarded. People are being emotionally, mentally, and spiritually abused to the point where they leave the house of God entirely. And they decide, I am not going to come back to this place. Because of people that genuinely believe that what they're doing is correct, even though it's wrong. Also, at the same time, even us as amongst the lower levels of serving members, we bully each other. We talk to each other like we are nothing. We have no form of respect for each other whatsoever. The moment we feel like we're slightly higher than the other person, we start bullying other people. The moment we get so as a small piece of recognition from people, now people that we once were friends with are nothing to them, we're nothing to you. You know, somebody voices something of great significance or of great importance, or, you know, makes a suggestion that is very practical and impactful and could change the way we do things and could revolutionize the way we do things. Now we start bullying that person and start telling that person, why are you gunning for a leadership position? I'm just trying to help. A lot of us are just trying to help, man. When we give our suggestions, we're just trying to help. We're just trying to move things along. We're not trying to take anything from you. We're not trying to take any position from you. No, we're just trying to help move things along. We're seeing that this is lacking and we just want to aid you forward. We're not saying give me credit. We're just saying, hey, just try this and see how it goes for you. Mind you, if you now start feeling like me giving you a suggestion is me threatening your position of leadership, then we have a very big problem. Big boss. We have a very big problem. Big boss. But anyway, that's where my frustrations are. And it's knowing that people that are in positions of leadership could be doing better, but they're not. In terms of just behavior and the way that they conduct themselves. But they're not. Showing up late, not showing up on time, showing up late. Disregarding members' feelings, disregarding, you know, their fellow compatriots' feelings, disregarding the rules of the house, disregarding just the level of lack of care and disregard, the lack of just whatever. I'm trying to voice myself in a way that is not too aggressive and not too accusatory and very attacking type of way. You know, I'm trying to water down my anger and my feelings. But I think all in all, in the depth of my soul, all I'm saying is, as a congregation, as a people, as a whole collective, and by whole collective, I mean the entire Christian population, a lot of us could be doing a whole lot better than we are today, but we're not. I don't know why we're using our religion, our spirituality, our positions to bully the people beneath us and make them feel like they are nothing. Every soul and spirit in the kingdom of God is worth millions. And we need to start caring for these souls. We need to start caring for these people like they are worth something, because they are. We cannot disregard them. We cannot ignore them. We cannot take them seriously. We cannot just be like, we don't care if you come back or not. Whatever. Meh. And I've seen that, you know, new people come into a department, new people come into the church, stand up, let's see you, hi. Do we follow up after that? Do we, take their details? Do we take them out for coffee? Do we befriend them? Or we just kind of treat them like, ugh. Like, thank you for coming, whatever. We hope to see you again next week. That's the only thing you say to them, and then you move on with your life. Anyway. But all in all, guys, I think I've said what I wanted to say. But this is just, I think, the beginning of my thought process. You're going to go through this thought process with me, or this process with me, until I think we all get to a point where we're like, you know what? I think. I am an ordinary member of the church, and imagine if I'm noticing these things. Imagine a newcomer. Imagine a newcomer who comes into your church for the first time, and they see these things straight off the bat. You haven't even said anything. You haven't even uttered a word. The moment they sit down and they start observing, they notice. And they're like, this church is not for me. Without anyone having to have said anything. It's the way in which we conduct ourselves before we even speak that says a lot about who we are as individuals. Right? So I'm very frustrated at the fact that we're not conducting ourselves in a manner that God would be proud of. That God would be proud of, and that aids in the church moving forward as a collective, that aids in us growing the spirits of the church, aids in us healing, delivering, and helping the people that come into the church, the people that are in the church. We're not doing our job. We're failing at doing our job. And I'm including myself in those people, because I know I could be doing better, but I'm not. We could all be doing better, but we're not. And why? We need to sit down, get back to the drawing board, and ask ourselves, why are we not doing better? What is it that we're lacking? What is it that we're not doing? And if I could pick a starting point, I would say unity. That's the first thing I'd look at. Unity, togetherness, oneness. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. The lack of love, the lack of community, the lack thereof, the consideration of others. I would look at that. Unity can branch out into various things. And if we look at that word, unity as a whole, and we study it and understand what unity actually means, we'll start going somewhere. We will start going somewhere as a group and as a collective. In a company, you work as one. Where you go to work and they give you a salary, you work in unity, you work in unison. That's why the company is growing forward, and it's earning profits. It's making money. You're getting a paycheck every month. Without fail, you're getting a paycheck. The moment the paycheck stops, there's dysfunction, there's disunity somewhere. Something is not coming together, and it needs to be looked at. And you have those meetings, you sit down and you discuss. And in the church, by profits, we mean people. The moment there is no profits, there are no people coming in, and it's growing. Something is very, very wrong. And unity should be the first thing we look at within structures, within individuals, within departments, within unity. Why are things not working together as one? Why? What is the problem? Let's start with unity. And, sorry to offend anyone. If anybody thinks I've stepped out of line, I apologize. I do. I don't mean to offend. Swear. Hand on the Bible, I swear I do not mean to offend anyone. This is merely my opinion. If you disagree with it, you're more than welcome to disagree with it. If you agree with it, you're more than welcome to agree with it. I'm fine. I'm more than willing to take it. But this is my opinion, this is my platform, and I can say what I feel I need to say without consequence. Well, with consequence eventually, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But those are the things that frustrate me. We're not united as a group and as a collective. And I think once we start working on that, things will go a lot easier and a lot better. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Love, light, and happiness. And until the next episode, goodbye.